he has just contributed from here side. But with the permission of Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir has just directed to just have a 1 hour interaction session with our PG students. So we are again requesting him, please sir. So for this 1 hour interaction session, so I request Dr. Khudke sir, kindly just give some introductory remark about our international speaker to our PG students.
Good morning, India. Good evening, US. Dr. Prakash, actually yesterday we had a discussion that is on the brainstorming session and the different topics which were included in the technical program. But now, Honorable Vice Chancellor wanted to have a session, separate session, because yesterday you talked a lot on students, from the students' perspective. So that's why we decided to have a separate session for students. And some students will be joining online because the program is also streaming on YouTube. So I think from the, we have the students now here offline from different faculties. As yesterday also we were discussing, we have 5 faculties here. The students of agriculture, we have BSc, MSc and PhD program in different disciplines. Then agricultural engineering, we have PG, MTech and PhD program here also in different disciplines, that is farm power, machinery, irrigation drainage engineering, soil water conservation engineering, processing and food engineering. Even we have a department of renewable energy engineering. In addition, we have a horticulture, BSc horticulture, MSc horticulture and PhD horticulture. We have another faculty that is community science. So earlier it was home science, now it is community science. So we have BSc, MSc and PhD program here. Then we have Agriculture Biotechnology College at Latur. So another campus. In fact, we have 8 districts under this university, and this college is located at Latur. And then we have Agriculture Business Management postgraduate program. So now the students of all these faculties will be joining, and they will be interested to know not only to come in US for higher studies, but other perspective also, how to go for the research and their research programs. So from that point of view, we have different dignitaries on the dais who have come from different places. Dr. P.K. Sahu, he is Head Division of Agriculture Engineering, IRI, New Delhi. Dr. Mishraji, Gyan P. Mishraji, he is Head Division of Seed Science and Technology. Then we have a person from private or industries also, Dr. Saeed Ismail. He is...
2 Ismails are here.
Yeah.
Saeed Ismail.
Two Saeed Ismail. The one who is sitting beside me, he is Dr. Saeed Ismail. He is a Principal Associate Dean of College of Agriculture, Parvani. Another Saeed Ismail, he is the Managing Director of SIFA, his own company, and also a consultant to many projects, so including NABARD and the World Bank project, POCRA of the state government. Then we have Dr. Rauf, who is scientist from IRI, and Manoj Kumar Sharma, SPIL Technologies, he is also an industry person. So we have a galaxy of dignitaries on the dais, and in front of us we have few faculties, advisors of the PG, PhD students, and the students. So I would request you to start your guidance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm audible or not? Please let me know.
Yeah, audible.
So माझ्या सर्व तरुण मित्रांना सुप्रभात. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, dignitaries and panelists on the dais. It is my pleasure to talk to everyone, especially my young friends. We'll talk more on today how to apply for PhD or master's or postdoc positions outside India. And then if you have any questions, you can stop me anytime for any kind of question. So before we go to the process of admission for PhD or getting position for postdocs, I will quickly give you a glance of my journey so that you will get an idea how to proceed for higher studies. So I did my undergrad from
Just to interrupt Dr. Prakash, I just want to actually introduce you, because we have introduced the dignitaries. Dr. Prakash is recently shifted to University of Mississippi, right? Earlier
Yes, sir.
he was working in Kansas, and he is a very good scientist. At the young age, he is he got the associate professor, I think, at Mississippi. Earlier he was working in Kansas. He has good, very vast experience in research, and these research projects are being appreciated all over US. And what we will do is you just guide the students, and we will have a quick interaction from the students, and also we have a few dignitaries. If they want to add something, we will do that. We have 1 hour, and in 1 hour maybe you can carry on up to 30 minutes or 35 minutes, and after that for 25 minutes we will have interaction. Thank you. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. So as I was introduced that I just moved to Mississippi State, not as associate but assistant professor. Little bit of my journey, then I will talk about the admission process and how to apply for a position, because I'm passionate to speak to young friends how to go for higher education. So for that, you need to know about the journey, how we should start as agriculture student or agriculture engineering students or other disciplines. So a little bit of journey, and then I will come on that as well. So I did my undergrad in BSc Agriculture from Banaras Hindu University, and then I did my master's in Agriculture, Physics and Environmental Science from Indian Agriculture Research Institute, IARI, New Delhi. And then I moved to US for my PhD program in crop and climate modeling at Michigan State University in 2015. And then after finishing my PhD, I joined as associate scientist at Kansas State University. That is a Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Sustainable Intensification, which is funded by USAID. And after working 3 years there, I just moved to Mississippi State University as a assistant professor for agriculture climatology. So my most of the journey is in environment, climate change, sustainability, and as well as agriculture engineering. The background was in agriculture sciences, 4 year, but after doing my master's in environmental science and crop modeling, in PhD I moved towards agriculture engineering and climate modeling. So I'm a mix of agriculture science and agriculture engineering as well. So we'll talk on that. So let's talk about journey of higher education. When somebody asks any of you why you should move for higher education, or what is the good time to start or preparing on higher education, the first question is why we should move. When somebody asks you why we should move for higher education, it means that you need to add some skill sets or adding more skill sets which you have to excel in your field. And it can be in breeding, pathology, agriculture sciences, agriculture engineering, multiple disciplines. So why you need higher education? It can be done, or it is possible in India as well. Why abroad? Many people ask me all the time, why abroad? Why not India? India has a lot of potential, a lot of facilities. Why abroad? When I answer that question, it means you need to diversify your skill sets. If you need to diversify your skill sets with a diverse set of people, because in India we have technological benefit, we have technological merits, but we need to work with a diverse set of people from Asia, Russia, Africa, South America, so that you learn how they do science. It is not about America is advanced in science or Europe is advanced in science. It's all about the ethics, scientific culture, how they do science in a diverse set of environment, or in a diverse background where we have people from different mindset, different ethnicity, different religion, different identity, right? So that's how we need to have a diversified skill sets to advance in the research program. For that, students, those who are in undergrad or in masters, they look for PhD positions outside or master's positions outside. So when I say look for position outside, what does it mean? It means that you need to have a higher degree, master's or PhD, in a specific lab or in a specific university or in a specific department, right? So you can ask question of how to find that department or how to find the specific lab. It is very crucial at the stage when you look for lab. But if you are in a third year of undergrad, let's say I'm giving an example of undergrad students. If you are in undergrad, you look for master's or PhD, you start preparing yourself. So I will start with that, how to prepare yourself for applying for master's or PhD. So when I say preparing yourself, it means you need to hone up your skill sets in the certain area where you're working on. When I say hone up the skill set, it means you need to learn those tools and techniques in which area you are working on or you will be working on, and your communication skill. And communication skill means writing and talking both. So writing and talking skill sets you need to develop from second and third year of undergrad. We as agriculture students, we always lack in proper communication, and that's how we could not match with the skill sets with other countries or other part of the country. So we need to develop skill sets. As a student of agriculture science, you need to learn the technology, basic curriculum. In addition to that, you also need to learn skill sets. Skill sets means communication. Skill sets means programming skill. If you talk to any agriculture students, they worry about programming. Programming means a specific program in your area, and if you want to do higher research in each of the discipline, you need little bit of programming for statistical analysis like R. You need somewhat Python to do some analysis of, let's say, precision agriculture, data analysis, those kind of things. So the programming skill is must for all agriculture students, irrespective of your discipline, whether you are in agronomy or agriculture engineering. I highly recommend from YouTube, there are a lot of videos, learn some programming, learn some kind of communication skill sets. That is in second year of undergrad. In the third year of undergrad, you need to start preparing for the exam which is required for admission. So there is a popular exam which most of the US universities look for, which is called TOEFL, TOEFL, Test of English as a Foreign Language. It's easy exam, 4 section, 30 marks, 4 section, total marks 120. When I say 30 marks, 4 section means reading, writing, speaking, and listening. These are 4 sections you need to score at least 80 out of 120. It means 20 in each section. And it's easy to prepare for that exam. If you go to the YouTube, there are a lot of channels, YouTube channels. They help you in preparing yourself for TOEFL exam. Apart from YouTube channel, there are a lot of companies or industry where they help you in preparing. So if, for example, YouTube, there is a video channel called Noteful Videos, Noteful videos. Noteful videos help in preparing you for different sections. So the first exam is TOEFL exam. It's very easy. You can prepare in 1 or 2 months. So in third year, at the end of the third year, you should have TOEFL exam, and you should get ready with the TOEFL exam in the fourth year. Once you start your fourth year of undergrad, what you will do, step number 2, because you have all those requirements of skill sets, communication, programming, and TOEFL score. The fourth year, what you will do, you will shortlist universities. How you will do, every universities have their own website, and each websites have their own department website as well as faculty website. When I say faculty, if you go to any department in any university, they have category called people. In the people, you have faculty, students, postdocs. So you click faculty and start searching faculty in your respective area. For an example, if you are in agriculture engineering, you start to look for faculty in your research area, let's say satellite data, farm machinery, crop modeling, processing, biotechnology. So depending on what area you are looking for, start looking for faculties first and the labs. How you do that? As I told, every website has their link. Go to the link and start making a sort list or a Excel sheet where you can keep a list of universities based on your preferences. So that is first step. Once you shortlist the universities, the emailing to the faculties is the second step. Unlike in India, we get scholarships like JRF, UGC NET, GATE, a lot of scholarships, right? But unlike in India, in US, I have interest in your research area. Do you have any positions available? When I say positions, it means whatever the funding we receive from funding agency like National Science Foundation, USDA, NASA, NOAA, USDA, NIFA, a lot of funding agencies. Based on funding grant what I have, I will appoint some money to provide you fellowship. And that is called as a GRA, Graduate Research Assistantship. So the first step is to email faculties. So start emailing faculties along with your interest. Now, how to write a good email is very critical. Once you reach out to any faculty, you need to have proper subject in your email. Do not forget to, do not leave subject as a blank. Add subject like query of admission for PhD program or interested in your research lab, the name of the lab, so that the person is on the receiving end should feel that you are really interested, not a blank email. So first is subject. Once you start emailing, proper greetings is important. Do not write hi, hello. You should write dear Dr. Jha or respected Dr. Jha or Dr. Jha. Greetings, my name means your name. You have to introduce yourself first. I am ABC in BSc AG 4th year, BSc Agriculture Engineering or BTech Engineering 4th year. I am interested to work in your lab. I have TOEFL score of this much and please find my CV attached. Looking forward to the opportunity. Thanks. Signature is very important in email. Most of the Indian students, they do not use signature. So go to your Gmail or any official email, whatever you use, put a signature. Signature could be name, let's say Gaurav Kumar, BSc AG 4th year, College of Agriculture, VNMKV Parbhani. This is your signature. Do not forget to add signature. So this is a good email structure. So once you write email to any faculty, do not forget to write subject. Do not forget to write proper greetings in the beginning and your research interest in the body, that I am working in this area or interested to work in this area. And do not forget to attach your CV or resume. Okay. and then the signature is very important. So once you email, step 2 is done. And at the receiving end, the faculty like me, we will reply in a 3-way. One way is, hey Gaurav Kumar, your academic credentials sounds great, but I do not have funding to support you. This is generic email. This is the first kind of email. Second kind of email you will receive, hey, hi Gaurav Kumar, your academic credentials sounds great. I do have funding. Let's meet on Zoom or whatever website sometime so that we can discuss on the research interest more. So this is positive. And the third one is very positive, very encouraging. Hi Gaurav Kumar, I found your academic credentials great. Go ahead and apply to graduate school, formal application. That is step number 4 after email reply. So once you have encouraging reply, what you will do, you will go to the graduate school. In US, masters and PhD both are called graduate school, and BSc or BTech are called undergraduate school. So graduate school has admission portal. So you as a student, potential student, encouraged by the faculty already that okay, he or she will accept you as a student. So what you will do, you will apply to the graduate portal. In the graduate portal, usually the application fee is $75 to $80, close to that, and you will upload 4 documents: your CV, your TOEFL score, your SOP, statement of purpose. Very, very important. Statement of purpose means you need to explain what you will do for next 2 years if you are in master, next 4 years if you are in PhD. So statement of purpose is close to 1.5 page, maximum 2 page, not more than 2 page. In a statement of purpose, you have to introduce your personal drive, why you are interested in working in that lab or in that department, or if say in that university. So let's say for an example, I am from farming family. I saw low yield or low productivity in the farm, and that's how I used to see farms in my childhood. That inspired me to do undergrad in agriculture science. Personal stories would be like that. And then you will talk about your credentials, whatever the courses you have in undergrad, masters, you will talk about that. And then you will end with what you will do in that lab. So let's say my area is climatology. If you are applying to my lab, you will write that I will do some climate forecast, downscaling, crop simulation model, satellite data, that kind of things you will write. And at the end of the SOP, you will also write that I would love to work with a diverse collaborative team. So at the hiring end, faculties in US always see the candidates if they are interested to work with a diverse team or not. So diverse team means people from different background of country, religion, whatever. So you need to highlight that at the end of the SOP, statement of purpose, that I will be a set to your team, or I would love to work in a diverse environment. So your document is SOP, very, very important, because that is mirror of your candidacy. Now the fourth document you need to upload is called LOR, letter of recommendation. Usually when you apply, you just mention the name of the faculty and the email ID of the faculty, and the portal automatically goes to the email ID of the faculty who will recommend you. When I say recommend you, means let's say Professor Indramani, he is your recommender. So the Professor Indramani will receive email from university in US that student ABC has applied, would you recommend him? So recommendation would be maximum 1 or 2 pages about your credentials, how good you are, what is your moral character, what is your team building attitude. So those kind of good recommendation letter, it goes directly via portal. You don't need to upload. You just need to mention the email ID of the faculty. Good. Step number 4 done. You applied application, you submitted your SOP, you submitted your score, you submitted your name of the recommender. Good. Then everything is done. You don't need to do anything. Now at our end, once we receive application from students, what we do, we have 3 level of screening. So when we see 3 level of screening, the graduate committee usually sit after 6 weeks, 1.5 month of the deadline of the application to screen the application. So screening is the process where they screen on 3 criteria. One is your grade should not be less than 3. When I say 3, we have grade system of 4. It means in India 70%. So your grade should not be less than 70%. First criteria. Second criteria, your skill sets are good enough to work in the lab. That you already mentioned in your SOP, and it will reflect in your SOP and CV as well. And then the third criteria is how diverse you are and how good you are in a TOEFL score as well. So TOEFL score requirement is minimum 80, but if you have more than 100, that's fair enough, right? After 6 weeks, once screening committee screens your application, it comes to the faculty. So screening committee will send me an email. Dr. Jha, students from VNKV Parvani is interested to work with you. Would you like to hire him or her as a student? Then I will say yes. And that entire process takes around 1.5 month, 1 month, 2 month maximum. So let's say if you're applying for fall admission, in US we have 2 kind of admission. Fall admission means starting from August. Spring admission means starting from January. So if you're applying for fall admission, the deadline of submission of application is December 31st. So you can imagine there is a gap of 6 to 7 months. Why this is 7-month gap? So December 31st is the deadline. Committee meets in the mid of February. March you will get informal acceptance from the faculty that okay, I will accept you. By the mid of April you will get a document from university for visa appointment. May or June you will get your visa appointment, and then June and July you will plan for travel for August class. So that is the timeline for each class. If you apply for spring January, the deadline is usually June or July. So that's how you have to apply and plan. Now if you are in the 4th year of undergrad, you need to plan. If you are graduating in May, you need to submit your application by December 31st, so that by the May you graduate from undergrad, and then you directly go for master's or PhD starting from August. If you are in a master's program, you will start those application process from the 1st year, and by the end of 2nd year you submit your master thesis and go for PhD. Now there is a little bit difference between masters and PhD, because both of the program have their own pros and cons. As agriculture program is for 4 year, in US you can directly go to PhD after undergrad. Means after 4 year of program you don't need to do masters. You can directly do PhD. And as I understand, for new education policy in India also, you can do direct PhD after 4 year of undergrad. So you can do that as well. But I do not recommend in agriculture sciences, especially when we work on dissertation, paper writing, you should have a bit experience during master's program. So it's better to do master's for initial 2 year and then apply for PhD rather than directly apply for PhD. If you are confident enough during 4 year of undergrad, you have good programming skill, you have a little bit of attachment training in other lab or kind of review paper, then you can directly go for PhD program as well. So these are the process. Now, once you receive application, receive your admission, you will get your visa and you will come to US. Now arriving US, on the day of arrival, you will do all those, document processing and everything. And the class system is different than in India. So the course selection will be based on what will be your research area, not based on the permanent course structure in master's or undergrad or PhD. So let's say if I am doing PhD in climate modeling, okay? So I will do courses related to climate modeling, not related to other, department requirement. So the course selection will be based on your committee, advisory committee. So that is another process. So far, if you have any questions, I would love to have any questions. So this is the process for admission for TOEFL, GRE, and conflicted of at TOEFL and GRE. Now most of the universities have waived off GRE. Earlier they were looking for GRE, graduate record exam. Now you just need to write TOEFL. You need to develop your skill sets, find exact faculty with whom you will be working, and once you will get confirmation from faculty, you will get a stipend. When I say stipend is in the form of GRA, Graduate Research Assistantship, and that is close to 1,500 to 2,000 and maybe 2,500 depending on cities where you are. In US, if you are doing PhD, $2,000 per month on an average is a good money to survive or to enjoy the life, because you will spend close to $500 for apartment, you will spend close to $500 for food, and the rest $1,000 you can save every month. So it's a good startup, for fellowship program, as well as starting your own PhD program when you work on different research area. So once again, I will repeat slowly. Build your CV based on skill sets. Develop your communication skill. Get your TOEFL exam as soon as possible. These two are done, then start emailing faculties. Based on email response, if it is positive, apply to the graduate school portal. 4 documents you need to upload: TOEFL score, SOP, your CV, and LOR, letter of recommendation. Once you are done, you will get admission approval from the department or university. You will get I-20 document for F1 visa. F1 visa is in US for students. And if you want to come for exchange program, so I will just jump on different side of exchange program in the NAHEP or IDP. Is a very popular program in India for undergrad or master's or PhD. For that, you need to contact faculties who will host you for 6 months, 1 year. Based on that, the University of Host Institute and your home institute both will sign a MOA, Memorandum of Agreement, based on how much budget will be transferred for one student. And then you will be getting J1 visa. It's called Exchange Scholar Visa. And it is for 6 months to 1 year. And that is non-degree programs. You cannot do classes and education in US, but you can do research in the lab. So it's all for research exchange program. So the students who are coming in NAHEP program, they come with 2 mandates. One is learning about research system, research ethics. Second is networking. When I say networking, they come to US lab, they meet other faculties, American faculties, European faculties, and they start interacting with them about their research program. And who knows if somebody or someone of them will hire you as a full-time postdoc, or maybe if you're in master's, full-time PhD. So the J1 Scholar Program through NAHEP is all about exchange program. For that, you don't need to write any TOEFL exam. So make sure there is a clarity between full-time degree of F1. For that, you need TOEFL. But for exchange scholar program, you don't need TOEFL, because Vice Chancellor will write a letter on his or her letter pad that students from Parbani, they have English session from the beginning. They do not need TOEFL for exchange program. This is for PhD or master exchange program. The third option, job, this is called postdoc. There's a confusion in India that postdoc is a degree. Postdoctoral fellowship is not a degree, it is a job in US. It is counted as a research experience, job experience, and it is counted in the service year, right? So for postdoc, you need to contact faculties. No need to contact any department or website or admission portal. There's no degree program, no admission process. Just a faculty will hire you as a postdoc in the project. Let's say I have a project running from NSF. Okay, so I will see if you have skill sets related to that project. When I say skill set, for postdoc, skill set is completely different. Skill set means you need to have at least writing skill that will reflected by your publication. So for postdoc, you need to have at least 2 or 3 publication, at least. If you do not have first author, 2 or 3 publication, and if you're looking for postdoc, I think it will be difficult for you. So you need to have 1 or 2 publication, first author, and co-authors are ice on the cake. So get your first author publication that will reflect that you can write independent research paper. Good. Second skill set is statistical analysis is must for postdocs. Little bit of programming as well. If you are in a research, you need to know those things. So the publication, collaborative skill, as well as grant writing skill set. If you have grant writing skill set as a postdoc, it is kind of cosmetics for your CV. So these are 3 requirements, and once you complete your PhD working as a RA or SRF, you need to apply for postdoc, and postdoc is directly faculty to faculty contact. So you need to immediately contact faculties in your research area, and then he or she will reply that okay, ABC, I found your CV and publication quite relevant to my project. You please come through. You please come for my research lab, and then you can work on that. For that, you also receive J1 visa, exchange scholar visa, and postdocs are usually minimum 1 year, maximum 3 year, and it renews every year as well, based on the project timeline. So these are 3 category I explained: undergrad, for grad school, master's, PhD, and PhD program, and then exchange program like NAHEP, and the third one is a postdoc. So these are 3 categories where you can look for. The senior scientists who have experience of 5 and more, they can apply for multiple fellowships. So there are fellowships like Kalam Climate Fellowship, Fulbright Fellowship, and they can come for exchange scholar as a postdoc visiting fellow for 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, depending on the requirements. And there are a lot of fellowships. So there's a forum called Indo-US Science Technology Forum, IUSTTF, that promotes collaboration between young Indian faculties and US Indian faculties. So they can write a collaborative grant, they can work together. There are multiple fellowship opportunities as well. If you are in agriculture field, ICR has Netaji Subhash Chandra Fellowship for PhD program in other countries as well. So in that way, you can claim that. And it is basically meant for in-service candidate. When I say in-service, means those who are faculty or ARS scientists, they can easily apply, but it is open for anyone. But they prefer in-service candidate for PhD. And for that, you don't need to focus more on applying multiple places, because once you have Netaji Subhash Chandra Fellowship, and then if you will email faculties in US, they will immediately accept you, because they know that you have funding, you are bringing funding with you. So it's easy for faculty in US to hire those who have funding from their own home country. So these are different categories I have explained. If you have any questions in the chat or for organizer also, I can send my email ID and we can have more question on that as well. And I'm here for next 30-40 minutes and we can talk more on that. In chat box, I have typed my email ID and you can share to anyone, so we can send that. So thank you for the opportunity, and I'm open for any kind of questions if you have.
Hello. Thank you,
Yes.
Dr. Prakash. You actually covered everything, right from the writing the CV, SOP, and then you have also mentioned the different categories in which the students, postdoc students, undergrad students, and then the even senior scientists and the experts, they can visit US and have a program. Actually, you have explained about the F1 undergraduate and program, then J1, that is the exchange part-time work, then the postdoc fellowships, that is a job you mentioned, and then the senior scientist can enter through the fellowships, and as you explained, the through program like NAHEP and the Indo-US Technology Forum. We will have just a quick questions from the students, faculty, because we have a group of senior faculty also, young faculty, PhD students, PG students, and many UG students, undergraduate like BSc or BTech. These students, they have joined online on YouTube. So, any student has any question or query regarding what Dr. Prakash has explained? Please raise your hands. Yes, please.
Hello.
You introduce yourself and then ask the question.
Hello, good morning, sir. I am Ritu
morning.
Rani and I am a master's student in genetics and plant breeding here. I would like to ask about what if my research papers in my master degree is not in good, like they are published in not very high NAS rating or impact factor, then it is okay that I will get accepted there.
Excellent question, Mitrani. So, for master student, the faculty in US, they don't expect the excellent or quality paper from the master's program. If you have low NAS rating, that is fine, but you should have a first or primary author. If you do not have at all paper in master's, that is also not a problem, but you need to showcase in your resume that I have skill sets. If in genetics, if you know PCR, gel electrophoresis, or field breeding techniques, if you know those techniques, you can highlight those techniques. But I will highly recommend write only those skill sets in a resume which you already have. You should not exaggerate or
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you write on those. Not a problem. If you do not have publication, you will get based on your score, your SOP. But if you have publication, that's good enough.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, please.
Thank you very much, sir. You have enlightened a very good knowledge to all of us. As I am a PhD last year student, my question is that if I want any training in the other countries, so does it has the same procedure?
Excellent question. So for the training program, you need to have exchange program through different labs. So let's say if you have enough funding from your home university under program like NAHEP IDP, you can come. Apart from that, faculties in US, they can also support. So let's say if you are working with some faculty as an advisor, your faculty guide. So your faculty guide will contact any faculty in US that my PhD student in last year of PhD, and he or she wants to visit your lab for 6 months. So it is between faculty to faculty how they can fund your program. So funding is very critical component in exchange scholar. If you have enough funding from your home university, good enough. If you do not have, then your advisor, your guide will contact faculty for exchange program.
Thank you.
So we should have some collaborative program or the program totally like NAHEP. We can visit as a trainee for the training.
Yes.
Anyone else, student side? From young scientist? We will have a quick comments of the panelists or experts sitting on the dais. I request, actually we don't have much time, we have only 15 minutes. Now the students are sitting in the hall. I will request after this session they should leave because the program, the next session will start, that is for the faculty. So before that we have to finish the session in 10 to 15 minutes. So quick comment from Dr. Sahu, if you want to add something, please. For those who have joined late, actually Dr. P.K. Sahu is the Head Division of Agriculture Engineering, IRI, New Delhi, and he is also a Secretary General of Indian Society of Agriculture Engineers for at the national level. Please, Dr. Sahu.
I say good morning. Good morning to all. How are you? So is it a compulsion by the dean and the organizers to come in the early hours, which is the sleeping time? Okay, that's great. Okay, Dr. Jha has set the tone. So my only submission to the students are, when there is a will, there is a way. So in which stage you are, if you are the UG students, if you want the higher studies, there are many opportunities. Okay? So how many of you know about National Testing Agency examination for PG and PhD? How many of you? Please raise your hands. Those who have completed or going to complete UG undergraduates, are you knowing about this PG and PhD exam? Okay, that is being conducted by the National Testing Agency. That is a gateway. That exam is a gateway for getting admission. How many of you know about IRI, Indian Agricultural Research Institute? Because IRI is the gateway for the Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor of this university. Okay? Anyway, what I want to say, this thing I also tell to my students. The degree is just like a pizza base. You must be enjoying pizza, right? So over the pizza there are tops, different tops. Say chili, more chili, more cheese, with mushroom, with capsicum, with onion. So the pizza's value increase with the topping it is having. So your degree is just like a pizza base. What is the skill set you acquire during your study? That gives the value. And what Dr. Jha was telling, acquire these skill sets. These skill set will really take you to the height. How many of you are really interested for higher studies? Be honest to yourself. That is only my submission. Because see, there are a lot of compulsion. All cannot go for higher studies. Some may be aspiring to go for the jobs because family compulsion is there, economic compulsion is there. First, be honest to yourself. Chart your course on your own, not by somebody is telling me, therefore I should do it. There may be peer pressure. Sometimes what happens during undergraduate or postgraduate studies, my friends are doing, therefore I should do this. No. You chart your own course. How many of you are interested for higher studies? Please raise your hands. That's fine. Okay, you have completed PhD. That's great. So now, after completion of PhD, there is a thought process about the jobs, the job market, and also always after higher studies, everybody thinks about job. And you know the jobs, particularly government jobs. Therefore, I talked about the skill set. If you have these skill sets, you can enter into private sectors. And also, the people from industry are on the dais. What is the need of the industry? You have to reorient yourself. Then only you can enter into industry. You can be entrepreneurs also. But saying is easy. Doing the job is very, very difficult, let me tell you. So, during your course of study, acquire the skill set which you like most. When your hobby becomes your profession, then everything will be easy. There is no need, suppose you are pursuing, of course in foreign countries, there is nothing like a barrier between any disciplines. Let me give you an example. One of my uncle, he was a plant breeder. From OUT Bhubaneswar, then Pantanagar, from IRI, then went to Canberra, and right now he is based at Florida. He is doing on medical science, developing the biosensors to measure the with a wristwatch like type, and it measures your blood sugar level without any puncture or anything. He is a plant breeder. So that is possible in foreign countries. But here we have different cubicles. So highly unlikely. Anyway, if these things we will discuss, it will take lot many times is required. Now the time is very less. The next session will be there. What Dr. Jha has told, very crystal clear. How many of you are interested to go to outside universities, abroad? How many of you? Okay, there is not a lot of brain drain. So people are interested to stay in India. That's good. But
Thank you, Dr. Sauji.
Thank you.
Actually, he has explained the other than studies abroad, you have another perspective, that is the job, and we have few people with us. Those are the officers and the managers in the private industry. We will quickly, Dr. Jha, are you online? Yeah, there
Yes,
are
sir.
quick questions from the side, that is from the YouTube, from the student side. I just will read that. Whether this scholarship is available for those students who are already enrolled for PhD.
Yes, so if you apply for PhD in US, there are a lot of fellowship, and I repeat, there is no fellowship by government. All fellowship is given by the faculties from the project. Like in India, we do SRF RA. In US, PhD is kind of SRF RA as a name of GRA, Graduate Research Assistantship.
Okay, I think the student is satisfied. Another question is from the girl student. She is talking about the WISE fellowship, WISE, that is for women. She said that age limit is 27 years, and whether the students below 27 who are having trouble finding a scholarship in agriculture, please help regarding that. I think for WISE the age limit is 27, not this minimum age limit is 27. So what to do that for the women who are students who are already working? I think that is the work. We'll have to go to the site and see what are the conditions of WISE. Do you want to add something on this, Dr. Prakash?
Well, I just want to say, there is a website called IGSTC, Indo-German Science and Technology Center, and WISER program is basically for women involvement in science and engineering research, popularly for German universities. So if you want to look for German universities in STEM, WISE is very popular program, and yes, there is age limit on that.
I think if anybody wants from the expert side, if you want to add something, Rauf? Or
I just wanted to
yes,
add.
sir. Dr.
Good
Gyan.
morning all. This is Dr. Gyan. I am right now head at Seed Science and Technology Division, IRI. See, there are different steps, UG, PG and PhD, okay? So one has to decide that what level what I wanted to do, and at the UG level I feel like it's most of a like peer pressure or peer group which we are sitting, and then based on that we decide. So doing MSc, PhD, everything is perfectly fine. What you decide, just stick on to that. Especially at the third year of level, one has to be very careful. So if you wanted to go for MSc and PhD, always look for the better universities in which you are. There is always the best. IRI is there, so we look for something better. So as of now, if I compare in India, at least for MSc and PhD, always try to go for like IRI minimum. If you want to do better than that, go to US or any other country. But for that, we need to have preparation. So as sir was saying, now NTA is conducting examination. Earlier when I used to be a student, there's a lot of like question repeats were there. Now you are not going to find even a single question repeat. But then what is important? Important part is that the syllabus. Not a one question, like not a single question is going to come from out of syllabus. So group studies are required. Have 2-3 friends together, sit together and try to discuss 2-3 years question, because now everything is available online, and try to be near to those questions. Okay, these are the questions, something closer to there may come or may not come. So that is very, very important, and target always for the best. And there is, and then comes like if you are really interested in doing PhD, look for the good ones, and doesn't matter whether you are having good publication or not, it's a like long journey. And in due course of time, if you're decided and dedicated, you are going to find your way. And we are always there, and if you have any personal queries or something is there, you can always be in touch with us either on the phone or on the email. Fine? Thank you.
I think we should stop it here. If anybody wants to add?
Yeah, this is Manoj Sharma. I am from my industry side. I would only recommend that while your studies, you should also adopt the technology and try, because once you start adopting the technology, you will find a solution to many of your problems in your science, in your research, in your agriculture, and this can encourage you to, become an innovator, to become an entrepreneur. If you see the history, there are ample cases where even the farmers have developed the best of the technologies available in the world. So I think this is the right time, right age, get introduced to the technologies, adopt them, and that will probably guide you through in future. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Time is less, but I will just share in 2 minutes my experiences. Actually, under me, there has been one student, Dattatreya Balikar. He is the student from this university. When he came to me in IRI, we have a different system that the student chooses the guide. So when he came to me on the first day, I asked the question, what is your future plan? Whether you want to continue in the research or you want to any industry. He told, I want to continue in the research. I told that after 2 years, don't tell to me that I have to submit a thesis and take admission in IRI. Try for foreign. And he thought that it is just a joke. Then after 2 years, he landed in US and he is currently doing this PhD in Washington State University. Other student under my guidance, that Karishma Kumari, same story, and she is doing PhD in South Dakota University. The important thing is that from the first day, we have to encourage the students, and the students should be ready to take the challenging problem. I had a student, Karishma, she got an opportunity with full fellowship at South Dakota for PhD in plant sciences as well as biosystem engineering. The choice was her because during MTech degree, she took a challenging problem to work on the plant virus with the pathologists. So my message is take a challenging problem, develop skill set. You are not less than others to take admission in any foreign university with full fellowship. Thank you.
So thank you. We had a very interactive and nice session. Dr. Prakash, thank you very much for highlighting the higher studies for the students. And thanks to the panelist, Dr. Syed Ismail is here. Do you want to add something, Asad Dean? This Syed Ismail, sir. Actually, sir, we have a limitation. The chairman of the next session is here. We have to finish the work in, it is 9:30 already. Dr. Syed Ismail, you can take 1 minute, please. Sir, yes, sir. Syed Ismail is from the industry side.
Yeah, I think for 40 years I am trying to promote the youngsters to come into business. That's my job. And I have my ex-staffs, I think at least 40 or 50 around there doing business. Because I always tell my staff also, if you stay more than 5 years, you are useless. Engineers especially, because you must start your own business. A good example of myself, I come from a small middle class family, my father was an employee.
Sir, speak loudly.
Yeah, we are 9 children and we all have at least 2 degrees or 3 degrees. So I spent about 9 years abroad. So I worked with Bosch, former friend in Germany. I speak fluent German, everything, whatever may be. And ultimately I chose business to come with almost no investment. And I'm successful for 40 years. I started exporting spraying control systems from India. I came to export back to Germany. That was 30 years back. Okay, and now recently 5 years only, India is looking at technology again into agriculture. For example, other line industry I worked, today you see the card system, punch card system in the companies and all. This I launched it before 30 years in India. So CFA name is well known in those things. So in industrial PLCs and all we work. Now I come back again to do some work on agriculture because I would suggest to students, You have to, all of you now, you know how to use your cell phones. You learned it. Before 15 years, cell phone was expensive. Computers, you know how to use it. You know how to listen to music. But do you create anything? The ultimate happiness is in creation. Do you play music instrument? I always ask. I ask this to my daughter also, and she plays. I mean, she's a good dancer, Bharatanatyam dancer. So this is what you have to ask, what you are going to contribute. And especially today we are talking in technology in agriculture. You will see lot of professors talking, AI, ML, all the words. Frankly speaking, how we are new to this field, even the professors. But there's a problem of computer scientists. Even they don't have much knowledge. If you know, the developments were done very less, only cut and paste system happening in the software. For example, proudly if you say how many software really generated as operating system are very less. We'll not go into details. But there is a big scope for you for innovation in technology. With agriculture, great scope. Because a simple, people asked, the potential in agriculture, we have the marginal and small farmers. I see tremendous potential technology help, but today you people don't know about it. And unfortunately, some of the IT people who know it, because their objective is to earn more salaries and different level they are living. So the whole thing becomes expensive. So you can. For example, I conduct some training programs. I take some students also into internship. Just now I visited an onion storage structure in Parbani. IIT Bombay students are doing. I visited just now and came back. So students, you must take up the projects in agriculture related, any field of it, not engineering only. In agriculture, so much can be done with technology. You must learn some programming skills. It's absolutely a must. Don't say that somebody else will learn the programmer. You must know the skills. You may not be expert. Okay, you may not be but if you don't understand what he's talking, there will be no result. Combined together working will not. See, for example, the new education policy, I love it because it talks a lot of these new things. There are few changes will come in the future, don't worry about them. But why, for example, I'm 69, I want to go and do medicine. Why I cannot do medicine? Who is somebody else to decide whether I have to do medicine with my own money or not? A simple example I'm telling, I want to study medicine. Because what doctors do?
Sir, we have to conclude, please. You will be there.
1 minute. Okay, yes, I'll close. So what I will try to close this with youngster students, become an entrepreneur. Don't try to just look, the future is only in the universities as professors or research scientists. Entrepreneurship is beautiful, wonderful. It is really peaceful and you get the satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you. So Dr. Said Ismail, he talked about the young minds, the aspiring minds should be creative, they should be innovative, and they should learn the skills during their studies and even after studies also, and that's why he mentioned. Once again, thank you, Dr. Prakash, for joining with us. And for the information of students, the whole program is available on YouTube. You can join online during the day. We have a galaxy of experts from the private industries also. The next session is on academia, industry, government, collaborative work for finding the solutions in agriculture. So that is there. So thanks to all the panelists, Dr. Sahu, Dr. Gyan, Dr. Said Ismail, Dr. Manoj, and Dr. Raup. And I request students to leave the hall because this next session is for the participants from the faculty. If the space is available, you can remain here for the PhD students. I would request they can be there in the session, but usually this session is for the faculty. Thank you very much once again. We will, in 5 minutes, we will start the next session.